We call it Terrazine, and it'd be worth a fortune to the right bidder.
More time!
We must protect the breath of creation with all—
Nova, I have completed preparations for a nuclear strike. You may call me down.
Excellent work, Rigel.
The rules are simple. No spending or harvesting gas. Anything that does not require gas is good. Since both no-build missions do not require gas or minerals, I'll skip them to save power. The run will be done on brutal difficulty. Unless I need to lower it, because I might. Sudden Strike gives me Jetpack Nova, Marines, bunkers, and some starting Reapers with spider mines. While the mines don't last long, they buy time while I build up lines of bunkers with Marines. Marines and bunkers tank while Nova spanks. I do need to be careful scaling the cliffs as there are plenty of pesky gas pallets, but otherwise the mission is fairly straightforward. To give myself additional minerals, I use the expert tactic of leeching off Matt's resources, allowing me to build barracks and Marines. While the enemy break through my lines, time runs out, and the mission ends. Afterwards, I get access to Combat Stim, which combat stims my units, giving them healing and making them move faster. The mission is sadly not doable without using gas, as I need to stock the nearby garrisons with at least 3 Marauders and 12 Reapers. These require at least 650 gas, as I do have 2 free Marauders at the start. After so many missions without needing gas, they finally did it. They forced me to spend gas on units. In the spirit of the run, I put off making these environmentally unfriendly scoundrels for as long as possible, and prioritize garrisoning the buildings that require Marines first. By building up lines of bunkers, my Marines easily mow down any enemy attacks. I also get access to free nukes, which periodically build at my Ghost Academy. Using Nova to push and my nukes to smush, I get the troop, get in the loop, and escape the goop. Still, something doesn't feel right. Is there really no way to beat this mission without spending gas? Well, rule number 2 states, anything that doesn't require gas goes. You know what doesn't need gas?
Armed and ready.
While I can't build Banshees without gas, I do get some freebies at the start of the next mission, so I give them Permanent Cloak. Using Permanent Cloak, Nova and my Banshees easily neutralize the Zerg hives to the west, allowing me to turn my attention to the Tal'Darim. Using Nova to focus down High Templar, Immortals, and Colossi, my roided out Marines easily handle everything else. While I do make the mistake of neglecting my left flank and lose all my SCVs as a result, with Nova, nukes, and stims, I destroy each shield projector. To defeat Janara's mothership, I pull a Hannibal, drawing my enemy's attention to the center and encircling her after she takes the bait. The vessel falls, and the mission ends. Afterwards, I give spider mines to my Ravens. Unlike the other units, Ravens only need energy to make spider mines, meaning I can continuously cast them for defense. Now obviously I can't build new Ravens since they cost gas, but there are freebies in the next mission. Night Terrors is sadly not truly doable since the main objective is to literally harvest Terrazine. But Pi, Terrazine and Vespene aren't the same. Surely you can make an exception.
Unthinkable.
Gas is gas. Anywho, I get a free Raven and 2 Liberators. I mostly use these 3 for defense while pushing with Nova and my roided out Marines. I also get access to some free Umojan Marines and Hercs, but these don't last long. To deal with Tal'Darim attacks, I either use nukes, sniper, stim. To defend each device, I build lines of bunkers and missile turrets, as well as spider mines with my Raven. As the mission progresses, the infested become far stronger than anything I can field, but technically, I don't need to win. I just need to stall.
Some of you may die.
Turns out stalling is really difficult when your army is kind of garbage. After an hour or 2 of banging my head on this mission, I finally hold out and...
I'm tired.
So I pull out the magic word to skip the mission. Cheating, you may say. If it doesn't cost gas, I give it a pass. My least favorite mission gives me 2 free liberators. I need to push quickly since the Zerg attacks ramp up quickly. I attack with Nova, nuking and sniping to take out the defenders. My priority is to neutralize Ultras and Banelings, which are the 2 biggest counters, aside from Lurkers, to my Marines. Afterwards, Lurkers and pesky Nidus Worms go. And finally, Mutas and Broodlords are neutralized. The mission is straightforward but tedious since I constantly have to take the train to return to base. Public transportation is very eco-friendly though. Anywho, after an hour I finally get to the end and the mission ends. Dark Skies gives me some free Liberators and Siege Tanks, but of course, Marines are the name of the game. After setting up my free units at the initial 3 pathways, I rally barracks over to the subway, allowing my troops to fast travel. Very eco-friendly. To defend my allies, I use masses of Marines while sending Nova to deal with enemy Immortals, Void Rays, and Wrathwalkers. Whenever a side starts being overrun, I send reinforcements to go through the subway. Eventually, I get access to free Gorgon battlecruisers, allowing me to ease pressure off my allies. While the lines eventually collapse, the Tal'Darim suffer too many casualties and their offensive peters out at the second line. After finishing off Janara's mothership with a nuke, the mission ends. Endgame is absolutely insane. While I get some free Siege Tanks, Marines, and Marauders, I need to defeat the Xanthos, a powerful mech with a million different weapons to destroy. It doesn't help that my natural expansion is blocked off by pesky gas pallets.
But you can't do this to me.
This means I need to secure a second expansion from the enemy as soon as possible. To deal with the Xanthos, I initially try to spam snipes and focus down its weapons with stimmed Marines. But I suffer heavy casualties to the missile pods, and my Marines are constantly bleeding out against the Defenders' counterattacks. Despite my best efforts, I don't have enough resources or troops to secure another expansion, and I run out of minerals. I can't quite consult Ancient Tomes, since Grant doesn't seem to have done a Marine-only run for Nova Covert Ops, so I checked the speed run and the difficulty is normal.
You know what the problem is?
After lowering the difficulty to hard, I switch to Nova's Gunblade and Stim Infusion for healing. After I secure a second expansion, I decide to forego getting the third expansion and instead trigger the final fight with the Xanthos. This causes the Xanthos to slowly move over and attack me, allowing me time to build up a force to defeat it, and my troops are all dead. The good news is that Davis's troops are suffering from target fixation, i.e. only focusing on clearing my base. This allows me to sneak behind the enemy and finish off the Xanthos before the last of my structures is destroyed, ending the mission.
I do not take kindly to betrayal, Terran. You made a powerful enemy today.
So have you.
Have I now? Why don't you say that to my face, you little shit? What's so amusing?
Your shirt.
You environmentalists always choose the boring route.
So can you beat Nova Covert Ops without spending or harvesting gas? Yes, kinda. Obviously, enemy intelligence forces me to harvest and spend gas to make Marauders and Reapers, while Night Terror's main objective is to harvest Vespene. It is possible to skip the missions entirely though, either through cheating or just playing in the Master Archives. Say what you will, but neither of these methods cost gas. So if I see any sass, you can kiss my ass. In total, both no-build missions can be done without gas, or minerals. As for macro missions, 4 can be done without spending or harvesting gas on Brutal. This brings the total up to 6 out of 9. If I include missions where I needed to use the magic words, this brings the total up to 8 out of 9. If I include missions where I needed to lower the difficulty, this brings the total up to 9 out of 9 missions, 100%. Nova's arsenal has the advantage of combat sims for Marines as well as Nova herself. The obvious weakness is that wherever Nova isn't, things go wrong very quickly. So how much of Starcraft 2 can be done without using gas? For Wings of Liberty, 27 missions can be done without using gas. For Heart of the Swarm, the total is 24 missions. For Legacy, the total is 25 missions, and Nova Covert Ops is 9 missions. This brings the grand total to 85 out of 90 missions, 94%. Of the 5 missions that couldn't be done, 3 are evolution missions that can be skipped, while 2 are optional missions in Wings of Liberty. This means that yes, it is indeed possible to beat StarCraft 2 without intentionally using gas. Remember, paw tree on. Sign up for early access, ad-free videos, work in progress updates, and more. Shoutouts to Time, Gladys Marino, Happy Accurate, Scott Replinger, and Jen Tuong for supporting the channel.
Also, Michael Phillips, who signed up after I recorded this.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and use the magic words to avoid damaging the environment.
Get some friends coming to help you out. Reapers.
Reapers, you say? Hell, cowboy, we gotta train more of these guys.
Yeah, baby.
They're seriously badass.
Geronimo!